told you, that is now the same way the rain makes the tree grow, is the same way chai from collective consciousness makes your own central nervous system to grow. And it is from the central nervous system that you find fruit. And the central nervous system is what we call authenticity. It is the chai from the public consciousness that develops your authenticity on a daily basis. These wealth that come from authentic public experiences is only manure that has the ability to fuel individual experiences into expansion. Are we together? Are we together, my people? Up to that particular point, are we together? Is somebody getting what I'm saying? Because this is going to make a lot of sense by the time we're done with this particular topic. This is the core of religion in Africa. This was the core of religion in Africa. Yes, thank you very much. So now, this wealth that comes from authentic public experiences is the only manure that has the ability to fuel individual experiences. You are because I am. Without me, you are not. Without you, I am not. Ubuntu. Exactly. It opens all your meridians. Thank you very much. From the forest, you're going to find monkeys doing some things too much that you're going to laugh. That is chai from the monkeys. Now the collective consciousness participation in your own growth, when they make you laugh, when they make you happy, when they make you learn, when they make you unlearn, when they make you relearn, when they give you advice, lessons, those are chai, and that is where your growth comes from. Without that chai, nothing, you will not grow. Without that chai, you will not grow. Without that chai, you will be like a tree that is growing inside a house without the sun. Have you ever seen grass growing where the sun cannot access? It changes color. It does not have chlorophyll anymore. And we are going to explain that as we go. You're going to comprehend it, but I want you to comprehend it from the beginning. Now, this wealth from authentic public experiences are what physics call chai, and it is what society call chai, tea. Taste and energy admitted, tea. Americans are always saying, give me the tea. What's the tea? In Africa, here in Kiswahili, they're always chai iko wapi? Chai ni moto. Mnipatie chai, when they are referring to that gossip from the collective consciousness. And biology calls this the X chromosome. What's the T exactly? Biology calls this the X chromosome. That is habari yako. Habari yako gani? That's child we are talking about. You are so good. Thank you very much. Get my knowledge. My beauty is to make sure that you are here getting the knowledge. My beauty is only here to attract you, because that is now, the beauty belongs to my ancestors. Now listen to what is inside the beauty. My beauty is none of my business. That is my ancestral gift to me, and thank you very much for acknowledging it. Now, after my beauty has captured you, now listen to what I have to say. Chai is what forms the soil from which all our individual authenticities grow. There is no authenticity that does not grow from chai. If your authenticity that does not grow from chai, you will be prone to sickle cell anemia. You will be prone to sickle cell anemia. You will be prone to lack of vitamin D. You will be prone to states of diseases if you are somebody who doesn't access chai. Journalism is very important in society. Media is very important in society. The spread of news is very important in society, because chai is what forms the soil from which our individual authenticity grows. And this is a whole other topic, that is climate, because chai now is the formation of climate. That is newt, but we will get to that later. For now, let's just scratch the surface. Therefore, this chai was the original energy and life force that controlled the world years before the word Christ was invented as its replacement. Before there was Christ, there was chai. Before there was Christ, there was X chromosome. X X, authenticity. Before there was Christ, there was Aset, the mother of all. So when we tell you authenticity is the mother of all, this is what we mean. It matters everything. Now the ability to live authentically daily for 7 days births Heru, which is Horus, which is Hawas, from Aset, which makes an individual fertile to create more. Harvesting the sun also darkens the skin by giving it more melanin. Why do we have more melanin? Because we are harvesting the sun on a daily basis. The more sun you harvest, the darker your skin becomes. Now chai was harvested from the sun, which is the 7-day planets, by living authentically on a daily basis. This was the religion. When you hear that religion started from Ethiopia, Utopia. Ethiopia was never called Ethiopia. The current place that is called Ethiopia was never Ethiopia. That place was called Abyssinia. The recent name was Abyssinia. Ethiopia was the name that was used to refer to the entire continent of Africa, and it is from the word Utopia. Utopia is a heaven, Al-Kebulan, the Garden of Eden. Why the Garden of Eden? Because the trees there produce fruits. Authenticity is there, produce talents. Authenticity is there, are fertile. Let's continue. Original chai energy was represented by the letter X, like Twitter. Exactly, the land of the gods. Today you're going to know why. Just stay until the end of this live. There are certain demons that will come in the comment section here. Nenye, if you are capable of blocking them, please block them for me. Or I'll do it by myself. Now, original chai energy was represented by the letter X. The way Elon Musk is calling Twitter right now, that X. That was the first letter for chai, and X represents infinity. X represents infinity, and so that is the representation of authenticity. And it was this letter X that represented the X chromosome to represent the mitochondrial energy that all children inherit from their maternal ancestors, tracing back to the first ever woman to exist, Aset, which they call the Eve gene. So legacy is maternal. Mitochondrial DNA you inherited from your mother. So authenticity is from your maternal side. If you want to be authentic, look at your maternal side. That is where your authenticity is inherited from. Now chai was Aset, and Aset was the life force that not only gave life to all humanity, but still continues to give life to humanity to death through authenticity. Now let me explain to you authenticity. Some people are always saying authenticity, they don't know what that means. I want you to time travel back to the beginning. Imagine humanity is just new. Travel back to the beginning and imagine humanity is just new. Can you imagine how they learned how to start cooking? How did they learn that, oh, a cup like this is supposed to be used for drinking? Authenticity. There was a woman who was authentic and was like, oh, so you can start fire. And through authenticity, she started fire. There was a woman who was authentic and was like, oh, so this particular container can hold water. And you can actually boil water here. And that is how she started the process of cooking. She said, oh, so a tomato can be cut and put into oil. Let's see what that makes. That is what authenticity is all about. Before anybody could learn how to heal themselves, how to go to the doctor, it was authenticity that was the mother of healing. Authenticity mothers everything. Music. It was somebody's authenticity that sat down and said that, oh, so strings can be used in this way. They can actually create sound that can actually be coordinated in a way that when I sing my voice, it can go this way and that one can make people happy. Oh, authenticity, mother of all. So when we're talking about authenticity, when we're talking about chai, you must know what we're talking about. That is the mother of all. Without authenticity, nothing is created. Without authenticity, nothing. And people who are afraid of using their authenticity are afraid of creating. Authenticity is the first mother. And that was the basis of African spirituality, authenticity. authenticity. Being authentic is the mother of everything. It is only authenticity that will make you create as a designer and say that, oh, let me try this way, let me try this way, let me do it this way. Being authentic, listening to your body. Now, Chai was asset, and asset was authenticity, and authenticity is the life force that not only gave life to all humanity, but still continues to give life to humanity today. Through authenticity, we get the X chromosome. So every time a human being is authentically themselves, they are tapping into asset. They are worshipping asset. They are tapping into the Chai energy. They are tapping into the life force energy, because life force right now is infinite. There is nothing you will create that no ancestors have ever created. We live in an infinite dimension, infinite wow. Every time you think about creating something new, you are tapping into an ancestor that already created it. And that thing might not exist right now, but it already exists in the collective consciousness, in the infinite collective consciousness. So every time you are being authentic, you are worshipping asset. Ethiopian Christianity, which is utopian Christianity, was the first ever African collective spirituality, and it was symbolized by the letter X. Now I understand exactly why you are housed and you speak. Yes. Ethiopian Christianity, which is utopian Christianity, was the first ever African collective spirituality, and it was symbolized by the letter X. The same way you see X of Elon Musk, to signify the worship of the first mother. The first mothers. Anything you attempt to create here was already created by the first mothers. So when you are tapping into it, you are tapping into the first mothers. Remember, it's mothers that create. So the first ever Christianity, Ethiopian Christianity, which is utopian Christianity. Anytime we live in a society that is authentic, we create a utopian world. Anytime we live in a society that is inauthentic, we create a dystopian world. So Ethiopian Christianity, which is utopian Christianity, was the first ever African collective spirituality, and it was symbolized by the letter X. Go do your own research. Please, Mimi, I'm only here to teach you. After I've taught you, go check. Oh, was Ethiopian Christianity symbolized by the letter X? Go find out for yourself. To signify the worship of the first mother, which is the life force. Now, X Christianity, which is utopia. The X Christianity of utopia was purely formed to worship authenticity. So utopia was the name used to refer to the entire continent of Africa before it was later moved to refer to Abyssinia, which is the modern day Ethiopia. Now, you can see the African worship. Africans used to worship authenticity only. Even the mode of trade was based on authenticity. Barter trade. Everything was based on authenticity and telepathic communication, because authenticity and telepathic communication are one. Anytime you are being authentic, you are telepathically communicating to your ancestors that came before you. Anytime you are being authentic, you are telepathically communicating to your ancestors that came before you. Anytime you are being authentic, you are telepathically communicating to your ancestors that came before you. So if we start living in a world that is fully authentic, then we become telepathic, all of us. And that was ancient Africa. Everybody was telepathic. And that is why barter trade thrived. Barter trade cannot thrive in a society that is inauthentic. Because barter trade, you wake up in your house and say, today I need a goat. And I'm going to bring a banana to the market. And you're going to find somebody else who woke up, today I need a banana. And I'm going to take a goat to the market. That is how Africans live. It was a pure spiritual flow and the worship of X chromosome. Now the Greeks re-entry into the continent. The Greeks came into the continent to study, but were they coming to the continent for the first time? No, that was not the first time that the Greeks were coming into the continent. Major Greek scholars came from the albinism caves. Albinism kicked the Greeks out of the continent because during the Golden Age it was too hot for anybody with albino to survive in the continent. So in ancient times, it was hard for albinism individuals to live in Africa due to the scorching sun of the Golden Age. When it is the Golden Age, albinism cannot survive. Anything that fears the sun cannot survive. So they had to leave Africa to go live in the caves the sun. So when Greeks came back to Africa again, that was not the first time that they were coming. They were there. They had been in Africa. That was where they were. Everything began. And then due to albinism, they had to leave the continent to survive. So as a result, they had to travel out of Africa and into the small that would favor their essence. Dravidian albinos that thrived in the caves murdered the military Greeks. So while they were in the caves, they murdered the military, the patriarchal military, in order to survive. The caves were bloody, the caves were full of violence. It was survival for the fittest. And so out of that, military was born, violent military. Now, causes of albinism. White people are just faded, black people which are just albinos. That is the thing that people don't want everybody to talk about. But we're going to have to talk about it because the moment you start talking about it, they label you Jewish, you are Nigeria, you are making Jewish to be victims or something like that. The way they've labeled me. Now me, I've already been labeled that I am against the Jewish. So let me just be, because I've already been labeled by TikTok and everything, and Google and everywhere. So causes of albinism. Go study. I'm not making this up. Go study after this. In simple terms, albinism is caused by long-term absence of authenticity. That is simple terms. You become inauthentic for long, you lose your melanin. Because remember where melanin comes from. Melanin comes from the harvest of the sun.
Yes! How is it so that hard? It's hard.
You start harvesting the sun long enough, you start to fade. And you see black people fading. Even today you see black people are fading.
That's how I get
Kids come from their ancestors, Madulo. Have you ever seen a kid that is dropped into this particular planet from aliens or from a spaceship? Kids come into this planet from a vagina, from the ancestral realm. And ancestral realms, we have ancestral realms, albinism too. So remember, somebody like me, I'm black, thanks to my ancestors. I'm only black thanks to my ancestors. So that child is only albino thanks to their ancestors. It's the ancestors that did not harvest. Now let me continue. It will trigger, but I don't care because the truth has to be said. We cannot keep quiet and be inauthentic. Keep quiet and be inauthentic because some people's feelings will be hurt. Let everybody know the truth so that you know the direction that you're moving towards. In spiritual terms, now in simple terms, albinism is caused by a long-term absence of authenticity. In biological terms, albinism is an autoimmune disorder that is as a result of the body attacking itself. Same as vitiligo. Those are autoimmune diseases. They come as a result of the body attacking itself. In spiritual terms, albinism is a result of spiritual inheritance of barren lives. Now, in simple terms, albinism is a long-term absence of authenticity. In biological terms, albinism is an autoimmune disorder, the same as vitiligo, anything discoloration, which is as a result of the body attacking itself. Now, in spiritual terms, albinism is as a result of spiritual inheritance of barren, infertile lands. On this particular place, we have the fertile lands, which are Bangula, and then we have barren lands, which are desert lands, ice lands, nothing grows. Now, spiritual inheritance of barren land is similar to inheriting lands where life is absent. There's no life force. In the desert, look at the desert. Without life force, nothing grows. We need life force authenticity. Now, presence of God, the creator movie, equals Pantula. And the absence of God, the creator movie, equals desert and iceland, where nothing grows because no child moves there. Some Africans have not been to Europe, but ask people who have been to Europe, they'll tell you there's no child there, everybody's for themselves. Everybody's living their life. Huko, there's nothing like Africa is very noisy. The markets are very noisy. Everybody's talking to everybody. Chai is free to move in Africa. Chai! Now the The presence of life force, the presence of authenticity creates fertility, growth, and godliness. And absence of life force, absence of child energy creates barrenness and demonicness. Similarly, presence of melanin strengthens the heart, which connects you to all, while the absence of melanin weakens the heart, making individuals prone to jealousy. A very good example is Cain killing Abel, Seth killing Assad, Scar, what the Lion King. Scar has a very weak heart. Harvesting the sun. People who harvest the sun get melanin. And melanin strengthens the heart. What is strengthening of the heart? It connects you to all creation. Absence of melanin weakens the heart, connecting you even to jealousy, the need to destroy. Now, barren lands in the Bible symbolize melanin deficiency, which is albinism, or rather faded blackness. Barren lands in spirituality symbolize patriarchy, which is the lack of womb of creation, leading to spiritual dependence on femininity, making the masculines beggars of creation from the feminine, like the birds demonstrate in nature. The birds will tell you masculines are here to beg for feminines to give them space to create. And masculinity is barrenness, the lack of the womb. Now, fertile lands in spirituality symbolize femininity, which is the presence of the womb, ability to create, ability to manifest. And biblically, femininity is a Bantu land and the presence of melanin, while masculinity is a desert iceland and the absence of melanin. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? The direction we're going, are you getting the direction we're going? Because from here, religion is. A lot of people right now, they say, go blame my ancestors, don't blame me. And yet they're still Christians. As long as you're supporting Christianity, you are supporting demonic activities against women, against creation. So black people are participants, white people are participants in the world today. As long as you are a Christian, you are against Bantu. As long as you are a Christian, you are against Ubuntu. And I'm going to tell you how. A presence of womb, a presence of fertility, and a presence of ability to manifest is the very definition of melanin and Bantu. While the absence of the womb, the absence of fertility, the absence of ability to manifest is the very definition of barren lands, denoted by the absence of melanin on the wall. Now, the in-depth causes of albinism, barrenness, and lack of melanin. In spiritual context, albinism or barren lands come from the stubborn refusal to harvest the sun. Guys, the writings are on the walls. You know, this one I don't even need to explain to a kindergarten child. Why do you have melanin? Because your ancestors harvested the sun religiously for centuries, for millions of years. Why don't you have melanin? Because your ancestors refused or were unable to harvest the sun for centuries. So in spiritual context, albinism, or rather barren lands, come from the stubborn refusal to harvest the 7-day planets that come repeatedly every week.
Your mom's right there.
It is this harvest of the 7-day planets that over time accumulate into melanin. Melanin is a gift from the sun. The 7-day planets run by Chai Aset. Look at the 7-day 24 hours. We have 24 hours every day. Horus, 24 Horus says. Who is Horus? Who is Heru? The child of Aset. Who is Aset? Authenticity. And so authenticity backs the 12 Horuses every day. 12 Horuses every day. For you to have this. When you harvest these 12 horses every day by following your authenticity, how do you harvest the 12 horses? By sticking to your authenticity, listening to your body no matter what. Upinduki unasikiza mwili upinduki hata kama ni babako anakuweka in the background. Upinduki. Wewe unasikiza mwili. Mwili ikikwambia do medicine and your partner is busy telling music. Upinduki. That's how you harvest authenticity. Melanin is a gift from the sun, which is the 7-day planet run by Chai, Earth, Aset, authenticity. And this is why African utopia worshipped the sun. They worshipped Aset. They worshipped authenticity. Long-term refusal or long-term inability to harvest the 7 days a week for whatever reason. Maybe you are a slave. You are unable to harvest the 7 days a week because you are a slave. Maybe you are, I don't know, whatever reason. Long-term refusal to listen to your body on a 7-day basis repeatedly leads to the fading away of melanin. The melanin starts to leave. That in turn makes the vessel to inherit barren lands and have albinism. Vitiligo is not a full albinism. Vitiligo, you still have a chance to backtrack. Once you reach albinism, you've gone up to 0 melanin. Now, long-term harvest of the 7-day planet leads to the development of melanin, which is symbolic to fertile Bantu land. As long as you harvest melanin, you are fertile, you can create. As long as you don't harvest melanin, you become barren land. Now, somebody's asking me, what about Asians are in between? Remember, the type of melanin that is in the skin of Asians is a different type of melanin. Melanin is different. Go learn the different types of melanin before I can teach them. We have different types of melanin, and Asians have a different type of melanin. Now, some Asian professors are always teaching Asians, go into the sun, go into the sun, go into the sun. While white supremacy and capitalism is teaching you, use sunscreen, kill your melanin, scrap your melanin off. It's upon you from an individual level to know the side that you're going to be working for. Because right now we live in a conflicted reality. So Haitians are in between. In biblical context, barren lands come from refusal to harvest the sun. The sun is safe in Leo, Amun. The sun is safe in the heart. Absence of the sun happens, weakens the heart. Watch The Lion King if you want to know how Cain was. Watch The Lion King if you want to know how Seth was. Scar. I don't know whether it's called Taka. He's weak in the heart. He cannot stay connected to love. When you harvest the sun is safe in the heart. The sun is safe. The white people will say the sun is safe in Leo. The sun is safe in the heart. When you harvest the sun, you get a strong heart. When you don't harvest the sun, you get a weak heart. A weak heart is easily disconnected from Ubuntu, from Ushirikina. A strong heart stays connected to Ubuntu, to Ushirikina, to all creation. Now Cain kills Abel after Cain inherits barren land and becomes prone to jealousy due to a weak heart that is disconnected from nature. Seth kills Asad after Seth inherits barren lands, which is desert or ice, and has a weak heart disconnected from Ubuntu due to jealousy. Scar in The Lion King betrays Mufasa because he wasn't genetically equipped to harvest the sun. You can see Mufasa was very talented and excellent. You get talent and excellence when you harvest the sun. Anybody who doesn't harvest the sun becomes mediocre. Hence the weak heart and jealousy of Scar. Now barren and empty lands in the Bible symbolize spiritual dryness and absence of God's, the Creator, blessing. Absence of Mumbi's blessings leads to barren land. So look at the desert, look at the Sahara desert, look at the Kalahari desert. We don't even have to go to Europe. Look at the Sahara Desert, look at the Kalahari Desert. There's no Mumbi anywhere. There's no characteristics of Mumbi anywhere. There's no creation anywhere. Bantu lands are the opposite of barren lands, and Bantu lands are often concentrated with fertility, with wealth and prosperity, which represents divine favor and divine abundance. God's people are never poor. God's people are never poor. Bantu people are never poor. Even if you tell them that they are poor, go look at the writings on the wall. Just take a walk in Bantu lands and then tell me the poverty that you see. There is zero poverty in Bantu lands. The most abundant people on the planet. Now the imagery of barren lands is used to illustrate the consequences of sin. Look at Congo exactly. The imagery of barren lands is used to illustrate the consequences of sin. Failing to harvest the 7-day planet, therefore missing the melanin mark. To sin is to miss the mark. Which marks are you missing? The melanin mark.
Why is it
And you see black people, if you are close to a black person who is fading, tell them the truth. Tell them to start harvesting the 7-day planet. Don't be like, right now we live in a world where people sympathize with mediocrities. People sympathize with disease. People who move towards disease get attention the most. Upside down. You should tell these people who have been vitiligo, harvest the sun, my dear. That's how you're going to get your melanin back. Because people are losing melanin, turning white. Black people are turning white. A lot of black people are turning white right in front of our eyes. Losing melanin. Why are you losing melanin? Because you're not harvesting the sun. Truth hurts, but it is medicine. Now failure to harvest the 7-day planets signifies disobedience when it comes to listening to one's own body, which eventually leads to that individual turning away from God the Creator, God the Mumbi, losing their melanin or womb fertility if they are women. Failure to harvest the 7-day planet signifies disobedience when it comes to listening to one's own authenticity, one's own body, which eventually leads that individual to turning away from God the Creator, losing their melanin or womb fertility if they are women. Now Set in African mythology is there to serve as a backdrop for divine judgment. The desert is there to tell you what happens when you don't listen to your body. Set, which is desert and icelands, is there to remind Assad, which is Bantu land, of the consequences of sin. Consequences of constant missing of the 7-day planet marks. Every day comes with marks of what you are supposed to be doing. Every day comes with marks of what you're supposed to be doing. You miss the marks, you're moving towards disease. You are moving towards fading from existence. Now Set, which is the desert and the ice, is there to remind Assad, which is Bantu lands, of the consequences of sin. Consequences of constant missing of the 7-day marks. Consequences of stubborn refusal to listen to one's body, which is their God, on a daily basis. The consequence of not harvesting from the sun daily and the need for repentance or a change in perspective. More basking in the sun leads to more fertility. You'll be more fertile. And some people, when you bask in the sun, you get sunburns. Get sunburns until you don't get sunburns anymore. If you know whenever you go to the sun, you're getting sunburns. Get sunburns until you will not get sunburns anymore. Stop escaping. That sunburn is burning away things within your consciousness that are not serving your essence. That sunburn is a symbol of the demonic entities that live within your cells that need to be swapped out. Because remember, the sun gives. I brought this picture to show you. You see these hands, this is the sun. The sun is giving life and it also takes. It gives. You see here, it is giving life. through the ink. You see this empty hand? This is the empty hand that causes the sunburn. Because sometimes the sun will give life, and sometimes it will stretch its hand to take life that no longer serves. Sometimes the sun will stretch its hand to give life, and sometimes the sun will stretch its hands to take away life that no longer serves. It is a two-way traffic. That is why the day is divided in 6 hours. The first 6 hours the sun is giving life. The first 6 hours the sun is giving life. The last 6 hours the sun is taking life that no longer serves. So when you're getting sunburn, get sunburn until you will not get sunburn anymore. Survive it. Let your faith pass through fire and survive. With constant repentance. Now listen. Wait. The inhabitable and the emptiness of sex land, the inhabitableness and the emptiness of Iceland, the inhabitableness of the desert lands is a constant reminder to return to wealth and God, to return to Bantu, to return to Ubuntu, to seek God's wealth, Ubuntu's mercy and Ubuntu's forgiveness. Ubuntu is everything in one. Anytime you're moving away from Ubuntu, you're moving away from everything. Everything becomes your enemy, including the animals in the forest. Now with constant repentance, repentance is just changing your perspective. With the constant repentance, 7 days a week you are changing your perspective. 7 days a week you're changing your perspective. The desert, the albinism, the barren land has the ability to spring back and blossom like a rose, to highlight renewal and Ubuntu redemption. Now what is the Albedo one running away from? Being burnt by the sun. Because remember, sun will burn you to take away. The sun must burn you to take away. The sun must burn you to take away. So this pain is what many people are running away from. This pain is what many people would rather create a cult against life and existence itself in order to evade the pain of sunburn. The sun will not burn you forever. The sun only burns you to take away what it's not supposed to be in you. Now the Roman Catholic Church as a witchcraft philosophy against Ubuntu is when now we are getting into the topic. But all this that I've taught is necessary. All this that I've taught is necessary. If you are here for the first time, kindly follow the host. Follow. If you are here for the first time, follow the host over here. Thank you for everyone who is tuning in. Subscribe also over here if you want to be part of this team. Up to that point, tell me that we are together, because now I want to get to the meat of the reason why I'm here. Okay. I want to get to the flesh of the reason why I'm here. Yes, we are together. Thank you very much. Very simple things to comprehend. This is not rocket science. These are things that you look around and you see. The Roman Catholic Church has a witchcraft philosophy against Ubuntu. The Greeks, remember I was talking to you about the Greeks, where the Greeks come from? The Greeks, they came from the caves, from barren lands, from in the caves due to albinism, due to barrenness, due to infertility. They made their way back to Ubuntu. Re-entry. They came back into Al-Kebulan, into Utopia, into Africa for redemption. After they stayed in the caves for long and they realized barren lands create nothing. It is a constant loop of suffering, a constant loop of war, endless suffering forever and ever. They came back to Africa, to Al-Kebulan, and found everything in Utopia. Now, like the prodigal son,
Put your shoes on.
they were received not by African men but by African women. It is the African women elite that received the Greeks back into Africa. because Africa was a woman worshipping territory of Aset, queen of heaven. Right now, there are books that cannot even go deep back to show you what Africa was because of patriarchy. Even African men right now, they want everybody to believe that, oh, it was the African men that developed Africa. It was not the African men that developed Africa, it was the African women. Africa was a woman worshipping territory of Aset. The Greeks, I haven't seen you in a minute. It's because your ancestors wanted you to see me now. Now that you're seeing me, absorb the news that I have. The Greeks learned everything. Plato, Pythagoras, Socrates, name them. All Greek philosophers studied in Africa for years and years and years, where they learned everything from the African woman. They learned everything from the African woman, including their own inheritance of barren lands. The African woman told them that you inherited barren lands. That's why you are the way you are. Because the Greeks that were coming to Africa were not the same Greeks that left. It was their descendants that were coming back. And so they came back ignorant with zero knowledge of what had happened. And they were told, you people inherited barren lands from your ancestors. Now the Greeks, like the barren lands, were patriarchal, while Al-Kebulan, like the Bantu lands, were matriarchal. The black woman made the barren Greeks eat from the tree of knowledge due to weak hearts of Set. When you want the story of Mufasa and Scar, Mufasa, even it doesn't matter how much Mufasa loves Scar, Scar still has a weak heart because he's not harvesting enough sun. The Greeks, like the barren lands of patriarchy, were patriarchal, and Africa, like the Bantu lands, were matriarchal. Now the black woman made the barren Greeks eat from the tree of knowledge. Due to weak hearts of Set, the Greeks,
It's a wig.
who they had sharpened their violent patriarchal skills. They were very skilled in violence. And how was Africa colonized? Africa was a matriarchal society. Women cannot fight men. Physical. Even look at your mother at home. A lot of your mothers were being butchered by your father. Why? Because women, it's not easy for women to fight with. Especially men that are equipped with violence. It's not easy. Even me, I cannot fight a man that is equipped with violence. I will run away. I will run away. And if you want to know how Africa was colonized, it was because Africa was an empathic society. It was filled by women's spirits. And so the Greeks, they came from the caves. The Greeks, they came from the caves very equipped with patriarchal skills, with violent patriarchal skills from the caves that could not allow them to submit to a woman. They were like, as we come from the caves, we want women. It is the men that say everywhere in the caves. And then they come to Africa and it is the women they bow to. And yet they come from the caves where they come from, women have no voice, women are not allowed to say anything. No nyash, nothing. Women no confidence. It is men that rule. Women from the caves had zero say. Well, they come to Africa where it is women that have the say. So now, because of jealousy, the jealousy of self, the jealousy of a weak heart, the Greeks could not allow themselves to submit to the women of Africa, to accept, and so instead, they set out on a journey to duplicate and erase her by creating Mary. Mary is a man disguised as a woman to replace Aset, the mother of creation. Mary is not even a white woman. Mary is a white man disguised as a woman. Mary is like the wife of the president of France. Mary is like, look at the monarch. Mary is like Barbara Bush. Mary is a man disguised as a woman. So Greeks, due to the weak heart of sex, the Greeks who sharpened their violent patriarchal skills in the cave would not allow themselves to submit to a sex, a woman. So instead, they set out on a journey to duplicate and erase her by creating Mary, a man disguised as a woman, to replace Set, the mother of creation. The Greeks founded Judaism that through patriarchal violence murdered the African Heru worship. A lot of African songs will tell you, Joyahudi unego Yesu, Joyahudi Wayahudi waliua Yesu, Wayahudi waliua Yesu, Joyahudi unego Yesu, meaning the Jews were the ones who murdered. It was the Jews. And those Jews are here up to now. And still, people from Africa, they sing their songs. These songs that we sing, we inherited them from our ancestors. They say the truth. Yesu and Jesus are two totally different entities. Yesu ni Heru. Jesus is another. Jesus is not a. Yesu is not an English Kiswahili name for Jesus. Yesu is another entity. Jesus is another entity. Yesu is Heru. Jesus is the duplicate, the plagiarism of Heru. And it was the Jews. Wayahudi wakaua Yesu. Did you come up with hizo song? I don't know whether you know the song that talk about Joyahudi giu. Uguro Yesu na wachmajabe. Joyahudi giu simotaya. Uguro Yesu na wachmajabe. It was the Jews that murdered Jesus. Know that from today. Judaism was founded on Abrahamic patria of the Greeks. After the death of African spirituality through the patriarchal violence and force of the Abrahamic believers. So now the Greeks found the utopian, the Ethiopian Christianity of Alkebulan, whose symbol was represented by X to mean life force, true authenticity from Mother Aset. And the Greeks then changed the symbol to Cairo. And they called it Labarum. Labarum is a symbol of Catholics. They know it. Yeah, they love it. Somebody type Labarum in the comment section. Somebody type Cairo in the comment section. If somebody, is there anybody who doesn't know? Because now I want to write it for people to see. Yes, Cairo. Yes, Daxian has written. No, not the one that you're writing. It is Cairo. Chai plus ro. Go research. Go do your research after this. Let me even write all of them. So this was X, which is chai. And then we have chairo, which is now, I think, P, X. So let me turn this upside mirror so that you can see. So this was what the original symbol of Christianity in Africa was chai, which is X, chai. And then the Greeks, they turned it into chairo, which is this symbol. And that is what we call at Labarum. Go research. I'm just giving you the name so that you know. Somebody write, Labarum is written like that. So Greeks, they come into Africa, they find chai. Then this is what they create. Now I want to tell you why they created it like this. The Greeks found the utopian Christianity. The last child is the X chromosome. X chromosome is representative of women. The beauty about the truth is it is impossible to erase the truth. The truth has its own spirit and lives forever. It is impossible to erase the truth. You can only kill people to keep quiet for long until the truth goes underground, but it comes back again. Is a comeback again? Is a comeback again? Is a comeback again? Now the Greeks found the utopian Ethiopian Christianity of Al-Kebulan, whose symbol was represented by Chai, the woman, to mean life force, true authenticity from the mother Aset. The Greeks then changed the symbol from Chai into Chairo, and they called it Labaru. In order to create Labaru, the Greeks took the African Chai symbol of communal life force, collective authenticity, and added Ro, which was their violent, forceful, and military trade symbol. And together, Chai plus Ro became Chairo. Chairo means full, forceful. Chairo means forceful takeover of the world's spirituality and wealth by the barren people. So now Africa was just Chai. I have all the time, please, to flip this. Africa was just Chai, and then the Greeks, they came and they added Ro, and that Ro, this Ro was their trade symbol, violent taker. Now what is violent taker? The Greeks were like a gang of goons. That's how the Greeks used to survive. In the caves, it was mandatory for them to survive like that. They were like a gang of goons. When you watch The Lion King, there are those white lions. And you know the people who are telling the story, they are still trying to remain accurate. It's just that they are not telling you that, oh, by then these were white people, and then these were black people. When you look at the movie The Lion King, you'll find the white lions, and then there are normal colored lions, and then Scar is almost the shade of the white lion. So the white lions were, the way the white lions were living is the way the Greeks were living in the caves. Gangs of goons who live through violence. They take up everything because they don't have anything. That is what thieves are. They were thieves. So now in order to create Labarum, the Greeks took the African Chai symbol and of the communal life force, collective authenticity, and added Ro, which was their violent, forceful, and military trade symbol, and together Chai plus Ro became Chairo. Now Chairo is the mark that the Catholic use today, Labaru. That is the symbol that the Catholic use up to today. Meaning Catholic was not a church where people went willingly. It's either you chose to be a Catholic or you die. That's how they accumulated Catholicism throughout the world. You are either a Catholic or you are dead. Catholic was not a church where you chose to go on your own. Right now is when people are choosing to go on their own. But no, if you are a Catholic, especially if you come from a descendant of Catholics, your grandfather was a Catholic, your great-grandfather was a Catholic, know that there was an ancestor of yours who had to choose to either die or become a Catholic. Know that. Now, from the Chairo philosophy, they were able to predict Abrahamic religion, Abrahamic patriarchy. From the Chairo philosophy, they were able to predict Abraham, their patriarchy, becoming the patriarchy of all nations, father of all nations. Father Abraham has many sons, so Father Abraham, I am one of them, and so are you. So that was the song for the military takeoff, to predict the patriarchy being the father of all nations, and so it was through colonialism. All forms of colonialism began with Catholics sending missionaries. After they sent missionaries to brainwash the locals, then they sent military to conquer. To the missionaries that would go first to brainwash, and then the military would come and conquer. Islam is also an Abrahamic religion that there is an original Islam, just like there is an original Christianity, there is an original Islam, and then there is Abrahamic Islam. They took everywhere, they were everywhere, from India, China, they went everywhere, butchering everyone, because remember, before the Greeks, the entire world was matriarchal due to Aset. everybody came from a set. So everybody was living a peaceful life, not having violence with anybody. People were not, there was no need to even develop military equipment. There was no need to develop ammunition because a set had everything in order. Until Seth's descendants came with military conquest and conquered everywhere. There was no place that they could not touch. So they predicted that Abraham, their father, would become the father of all nations, and so it was. Labarum philosophy begins with a covenant between the barren God, sorry mother, Seth, we even confused me. Labarum philosophy begins with a covenant between the barren God, Seth, and Abraham's patriarch after a violent erasure and duplication of the matriarchal habits of the world. So how do I know that there was a duplication? It is still the white people. Was it easy? The Greek, in a bid to expand Labarum and fulfill their Abrahamic prophecy, they backed the Catholic, the Roman Catholic Church, with the word Catholic originating from the Greek word Katholikos. Catholic is an original Greek word, Katholikos, which means universal dominance by force. Universal dominance by force. Was it easy for them to dominate? Though it wasn't. From the onset of Catholicos, which was based on Mary, a transgender man, many opposed with their lives, even their own people. That is not how you write Catholicos. Catholicos is written like this. Let me write it for you. It is with a K.
Okay.
Many of their people opposed them. Not everybody was for the military takeover. And you will know why. That's why we have the Russians today and the Europeans today, and they are not friends.
Well, I regret. I lost 240.
So now, why did they invent Catholicos? To fulfill their Abrahamic patriarchal father's prophecy of becoming the father of all nations. And so Catholicos was there to mean the universal dominance by force. Was this an easy walk? No, it wasn't an easy walk. From the onset of Catholicos, which was based on Mary, a transgender man, many opposed to their lives. For example, the Docetism. Google it, I'm giving you the meaning word. Mimi nawapatia tu mwelekeo muende mjitafutie. See, I don't care whether you believe or not. Because the truth does not require your participation in order for it to exist. The truth will exist whether you agree with it or not. These people, you must know these people because these people gave their lives to oppose Catholico. These people, Docetism were white people that dedicated their life to oppose the lie. Now listen, the Docetism was a belief system that was at the forefront of this opposition. They publicly opposed the Catholic belief by telling people that Jesus was an illusion that did not exist. Because Mary was a patriarchal philosophy, and Mary was violent. Now, Docetism preached that the concept of Jesus, just like God, the Creator, was too holy to have a material body. The concept of true Jesus was too holy because they knew what true Jesus was. There were Europeans who knew what true Jesus was because they knew who the black people were. They knew who the white, what happened between a sect and the introduction of Mary. So they kept telling everybody, Jesus cannot exist in the flesh. It is impossible for that concept to exist in the flesh because even God does not exist in the flesh. God is a collective consciousness and Jesus is too. So Bishop Serapion of Antioch. Let me write for you the name so that these are important people for black people. These are the people that fought for you. If you want to know the people that died for you, these are the people that tried to save a set.
In 2000,
Worship.
my husband never gave me a penny. So,
Bishop Serapion of Antioch.
trust me, those men, I do. I swear. If he does
If you are tempted to exist the life, why are you telling us? Why are you telling us? Somebody attention better. Bishop Serapion of Antioch. Now, Bishop Serapion of Antioch also publicly, for many years, condemned the Catholic worship of Jesus, claiming it was a forgery of the divine assets on him. They were telling it as it is.
So I told her next year we're
It was a forgery. They were telling everybody, even the Russians for years tell everybody, forged, it is forged. But how come their voices did not make it to Africa? It was during this time that all this were happening, that Africans were being enslaved and told you cannot read and write. Concentration camps. Concentration camps. You cannot read and write. No books for you. During that entire time where our ancestors could not read, no books for you. No books for you in Africa, no books for you in the Americas, no books for you. All this is what was happening. There was a fight between the people, the Docetism and the Catholicos. Are we together? Up to that point. Now, let's continue. Due to the superiority, why did their voices, why did their voices not make it to the collective consciousness? And some of you are hearing about them today. There are people who have heard about these people, but there are a lot of you are hearing about these people today. You did not even know that there are people who are opposing Catholicism. Due to superiority in military machinery and forceful conversion, the Greeks, who later became the Romans and are currently the Vatican, successfully managed to kill everything that dared to oppose their Abrahamic forgery and successfully enforced their religion. After they learned about everything in Africa, mimi nitawaambia kila kitu wada. That's what I'm here for. Kama itakuua shauri yako. Ukweli inaua watu wengine. Ukweli inaua watu wengine. Takufa peke yako.
You know that if she explained that to people, people would have been more willing to switch. I can respond to this matters. So what's the matter? There's another parent. They're having a family. And I have national.
So you remember?
So my thing was,
I told you that the Greeks, they came from the caves first, and then they came back to Africa, ne? You remember? The Greeks, they came from the caves and then they came back to Africa. It wasn't the first time they were coming. Their ancestors were born here, and then they came back. Now after coming back and learning everything, they started religion. What was the philosophy of religion? Redeemer. They did not want redemption anymore. After they learned that it was women that were in charge, they said, we are going back to our ancestors were. We don't want redemption anymore. So we are going back to we are religion. Religion is the word for demon. They said, you know what, we are going religion, redeemer. So they started to go back to the philosophy of their ancestors, the very reason why the ancestors left Africa in the first place. They left, ransacked everything, went to start their duplication in Athens. So now, due to the superiority in military machinery and forceful conversion, the Greeks, who later became the Romans and are currently the Vatican, successfully managed to kill everything that dared to oppose their Abrahamic forgery and successfully enforced their religion as they walk back into their demonic versions that came from the caves all over the world.
And I know in August we also have a training.
Male on male sex became the mandatory ritual to join. their military force. In order to join their military force, you have to be either a man who wants to be a woman or a man who only has sex with men. Now look at the Vatican fathers. Fathers are homosexuals. Most of them are homosexuals. And then look at even the American government. It has always been men and men. One man posing as a man and then another man posing as a woman. That was the mandatory requirement for you to access their powerful military protection. It was a mandatory requirement for you to access their powerful military group. Now the Greeks came into Africa to seek redemption, but after learning everything from Africa, they decided to religion. They decided to redeem them. Somebody's saying Elon Musk now. You are just demonic. Trump is set. I will tell you that for free. And Elon Musk is the king of masking. And remember, those are now the ones who are going to prepare the way for the redemption of Asset. I'll tell you that for free. Musk is here to bring back the masks. I'm telling you, Elon Musk is here to bring back the masks. The philosophy of masking. And Donald Trump is here to enforce set. They are doing it because of the collective consciousness. That is where the collective consciousness is. Greeks is dead. The Greek philosophy is dead because it's never even stood. They've been fighting against each other. Since the beginning, they've been fighting against each other. They've been fighting. This one is wrong. They've never agreed. They've never agreed. Since they took everything from a set, they've never agreed. The world has been in chaos up to now. It's when we're going back. And guess what? It's not because of Trump that we're going back. It is because of you. The collective consciousness is rising and putting the correct people in position by force. The same way the Greeks took it by force, now the collective consciousness is going to do everything by force. Whether you like it or not, whether you kiss me or you like me, we are moving back. Asset is back, mother is back. Mama amerudi, mama chololo, mother is back.
Yeah, the ice cream cone.
That's why even I can sit here and talk like this. If mother wasn't back right now, I would be dead. I wouldn't even have a mouth to tell you what I'm telling you right now. Now, Opus Dei, as a religion or redemon branch,
And yeah, so she learned these
these people are organized. These people are geniuses. That's why I'm always telling you Africans, if you think that it was fools that took things from a certain, no, these people were demonic geniuses. Because they organized themselves and they left everything in place. Now Opus Dei. Opus Dei was founded later in Spain by Jose Maria. Just look at his name, Jose Maria. Another fortune. Opus Dei was founded later in Spain by Jose Maria Escriva, who is now a saint that the Catholics worship. As we are worshiping, I said, pray for me. Catholics are busy worshiping Jose Maria, pray for me. Jose Maria, pray for us. Jose Maria, pray for us. That is their saint now. Jose Maria created Opus Dei as a space to handpick their chosen ones who would continue their legacy of making the whole planet barren lands dominated by men loving men only. Remember, Greeks were gangs. The Greeks were gangs of men loving men. Their relationships were based on the most powerful man loving the most powerful man, and then they create a military that butchers everybody. And that is what Opus Dei was here to uphold. Now the purpose of Opus Dei was to occupy world banks, world financial institutions, and world wealth in order to make sure that money is only being pushed towards those married to barrenness, like men who love men, the transgender, all while ensuring monetary blockages towards real creators, towards women loving women, towards women loving men, towards women loving men, or men loving women, real talents and anything that has to do with creation. A lot of times you watch TikTok and you're like, oh my God, that is so mediocre. Why is he getting so much traction and yet this is so excellent? It is because of the spiritual system that we are founded on, Opus Dei. They make sure that the most talented are sidelined and become damsels in distress. No money, and if they dare to start making any money, they are blocked. And then they make sure all money through USAID is going to men who love men. Anybody who is displaying mediocrity publicly, comedians who are making fun of themselves, those are the ones that are empowered. Barrenness, they were empowering. Opus Dei was dedicated towards empowering barrenness. So that the most talented don't even get the Grammys. The most talented don't even get a role in the movies. Real women do not get roles in the movies. Real women don't get any space for women. They were making sure that only men supported. A men-supported society, and they were supporting the men. And I'm glad I'm talking about it now because it is aligned. You're seeing the USA who they were funding. That day,
Start work late and then go back.
yes, Opus Dei is the same as Dei, that diversity, equity, and inclusion. It is them camouflage. The same way Vatican is the camouflage version of the Romans and the Greeks. The same way this day is a camouflage version of Opus Dei. It is the same thing. Now, Opus Dei was created to prioritize patriarchy in society and provide them with free money so they can dominate. They support politicians that are the most mediocre in the country. And even here in Kenya, Opus Dei is the owner of the banks. People who are owning the banks here in Kenya are all Opus Dei. They've been, at least now is when God is putting it on people. But they've been the Opus Dei people funding the most useless politicians. Politicians like Ska. Those are the ones that are funded, and then the true politicians that are capable of change, you are told, enda ucheke na mamako wewe. Kwenda huko. Now, Opus Dei was formed to help patriarchy and Abrahamic ideologies to occupy society while starving asset authenticity worshippers. Opus Dei was born to uplift the untalented, the inauthentic, and the uncreative to the top of the pyramid in order to completely kill asset and motherhood. Opus Dei was born to promote iconoclasm. Iconoclasm. I want you to familiarize yourself with iconoclasm. Because you know what? It will make a lot of sense to you if you've been an excellent person and you're struggling. Iconoclasm was built by the Greeks. It will help you know the reason why you've been struggling, or like a damsel in distress. Iconoclasm. Can somebody guess the spelling, or should I post? This is how you spell iconoclasm. And what is iconoclasm? This is the isolation of the true icons. Isolation of the true icons. Isolation of the true women. Isolation of the true talent from the planet. It's a very popular word among the Greeks. Iconoclasm was specifically, and this is one of the reasons why the Russians clashed with the Europeans. Because of iconoclasm, it's very famous among the Opus Dei people. The moment they see somebody is very talented to the point they see that this person is going to amass a lot of wealth, because remember, talent gives wealth. They bring iconoclasm, they block you, block any path that you might be, they block everything. Even if it means coming to talk to your manager to abandon you, they will do it.
You missed Leah
Even
just
if it
now.
means coming to talk to each and every person who supports you, so that they drop you, they fearmonger, they will do it. So Opus Dei was born to promote iconoclasm, which is the isolation of the true icons, isolation of the true women, isolation of the true talent from the planet. Opus
Dude, you're
Dei was
amazing.
born
You're amazing.
for
Really?
religion,
And it's, bro, it's showing.
redemonism. Going back into the
Yes.
demonic practices of the cave
Oh my
to symbolize collective war towards barrenness, and away from creativity and creation.
We should have seen it. We should have seen it. Like, I don't understand, like, oops,
Yes, Russians are in BRICS, but also just know that
you know how to build a proper body, you know what it
Russians
means, you know, and no one says anything.
also are not to be trusted 100%. Right now, Africans don't trust anybody. That's what I'll tell you. If you're an African, don't trust anyone. Trust your ancestors. Your ancestors are millions inside of you. You don't need to trust anyone on this particular planet. Trust your ancestors. Even your own kind, you don't need to trust. Because guess what? These African Christians are the ones who will support for true African spiritualists to be murdered. Right now, me, the way I teach, my biggest opposition are Africans. My biggest opposition, the people who oppose me the most, the people who keep jeopardizing my pet are African Christians. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody. Right now is not the time to trust anybody. Oh. Don't trust anybody. Not even me. Don't trust me. Trust yourself. If you're looking for someone to trust yourself.
I think she did 5 and stuck it.
And your authenticity. Trust no one.
Right?
Nobody. Eh? Because the Abrahamic religion was successful. It infiltrated every part of the world. Right now there are people who are black in skin, but what is living inside of them is a colonization from the Greeks. Trust nobody. Never let anybody come tell you that, oh, we are black, let's move together. No! Some of these black people are the ones who will sacrifice. Who killed Gaddafi? Who killed Al Quincodet? Who killed Pio Gamapinto? Who killed Malcolm X?
That I don't know. I'm wondering.
Who participated in the killing of Patrice Lumumba?
So you start up with them.
Black people! They'll be looking at you here, but they're the ones who will conspire for you to be killed. Do not trust anybody, especially if you're a woman. Trust nobody! Isolation is key. Only trust your ancestors. Your ancestors tells you, fuck that one. Go. I don't care whether you are Beyonce of the world or not. Kwenda! Trust no one. Build your own empire alone with your ancestors only. Your ancestors will send you people. And sometimes the people they send are very temporary. They send sometimes people for you to work with them for 2 minutes, the 3rd minute to let them go. Trust your ancestors. Anyway guys, if you're here for the first time, kindly follow the host. Follow the host if you love the gospel. Follow the host and subscribe. Otherwise, that is the news that I have for you today. Questions? Ask. How do you connect with your ancestors? Your ancestors are in your flesh. Your ancestors are in your flesh, and there are 3 main sacrifices you can offer to your ancestors. There are 3 main sacrifices you can offer to your ancestors. Number 1, in Africa, you always hear Africans offering cows. The first sacrifices you can offer to your ancestors for them to be happy with you is a cow. Wealth. Be wealthy, move towards wealth. God's people are not poor. Anytime you're moving towards poverty, your ancestors are frowning. So the first gift you can ever give to your ancestors is make sure you and poverty, you are not even neighbors. The second gift is spiritual hygiene, chicken. This spiritual hygiene. Do no evil and accept no. And the third gift is the goat. Be useful to yourself. Jitume. The first gift you can ever offer to your ancestors is a cow. Support yourself and be wealthy. The second gift is a chicken. Please be spiritually hygienic. Do no evil and accept no evil. And the third gift is a goat. Be useful to yourself. Don't be useless to yourself. And don't allow yourself to be misused. You offer those 3, your ancestors will be very good. and have. There are many sacrifices you can offer, but those three are the most crucial. Those three are the most mandatory. Anytime you misuse yourself, your ancestors are frowning. Anytime you are spiritually unhygienic, you are spiritually dirty, your ancestors are frowning. And anytime you are poor, your ancestors are frowning.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you want to connect to your ancestors, do those three. And where are your ancestors? In your skin. Your entire body is made up of your ancestors. These cells, when you are enjoying, your ancestors are enjoying. Your ancestors are not outside of you. Anytime you are enjoying life, anytime you are happy, your ancestors are happy. Anytime you are satisfied, your ancestors are satisfied. Anytime you are dissatisfied, there is a fracas between you and your ancestors. Question. How to call out on your ancestors? Worship. Worship your vernacular, especially if you are an African. Africans, please, the songs that your ancestors left behind, they're not just your ancestors. The songs that the people from your community were singing. These people were unsupported. Remember iconoclasm. Iconoclasm is the isolation of the icons. So the people from your tribe that took their time and their money to create spiritual music for you in your vernacular.
I'm impressed.
Go listen to us. Worship your ancestors. Worship your ancestors from Hawaii up to how to do.
She's
For example, we are always listening to Luo songs. Luo songs before any other song. And I will listen to Luo everywhere I will go in my life. Even if I become the queen of everyone, Luo songs will be everywhere I go. And the Luo songs from the Luo that created them, even if the whole world think they're mediocre, I don't care. Because when iconoclasm was happening, when they were being isolated, when nobody was supporting them, when Opus Dei was making sure that only Patriarch is supported, my ancestors were creating content.
Back from competing level 3 to 2 because they want her to be confident.
So hizo masong sasa naweza kuwekea moja sasa hivi. Kwanza hata nisiweke, wacha niweke.
I'm honest with you. I'm just like, I don't know.
For the Luos.
She would like, that would not be good.
Okay, when you listen to these songs, I'm just giving you an example because somebody told me how to get into contact with your ancestors, and these are one of the ways. So listen to this song, you're a Luo. I want you to listen to what this woman is saying. Milka Omondi.
Like my daughter swam up until COVID hit when she was 17. And now she's still out.
You listen to what she's saying. Listen to the words.
Reacting like recreationally. She runs. Like she does other things, but at least
What is your name?
He's at university and he knows that he's sitting down all the time. He knows him in weight and not the good one. Okay. So he's making me look like yes.
Joey, Buffalo.
So in February? End of February? Okay.
Are you listening? She's saying when the enemies come, you scatter them 7 ways, using the 7 ways.
And plus you gotta figure out what day she actually
Remember, Jesus was is the day. Okay, with your video means that they're scattered using the enemies will be scattered using the 7 ways, which is the 7 pillars, which is the 7. This is the protection. When you use the 7 days to scatter your enemies, they will never find you, they will never locate you. And then these 7 days will lift you, like will give you the horns of a buffalo. That's what she's saying. The 7 days will give secrets. Because guess what? The Greeks did not infiltrate the grassroots. They cannot. Asset cannot be erased. That's what I will tell you for free. That is why even when the Greeks were changing everything, they had white people that were against them. And those white people were connected to Asset. Because Asset cannot be erased. And everything belongs to Mumbi. Turia Mumbi. Everything belongs to Mumbi. So everywhere anybody that dares to go against Mumbi, there will be always opposition. And that is why we have opposition up to now.
I was thinking the same thing.
Wars have never ended. Because the Greeks were not able to establish themselves peaceful. Turia Mumbi, exactly. We all belong to Mumbi, including those white ones. All of us belong to Mumbi. So even when Mumbi was being killed, still there were Mumbi people over there that were telling the truth. The truth has its own spirit. The truth does not require your participation for it to exist. Some people are praying so much, and I'll tell you, some people are praying so much for my page to be deleted, for my page to go. People are always reporting my page. Some of them even ghost and say that, oh, I'm leaving. The truth does not require your participation for it to exist. The truth will exist whether you are there. The truth has its own spirit. Whether you support the truth or not, it will continue to exist. Some people wanafinyanga matako wanaenda wakidhani na tena narudi atakufa. The truth cannot die. Asset cannot die. Mumbi cannot die. So if you want to connect to your ancestors, Africans, go back. Go back. You have to go back. This song, some people they are embarrassed to listen to this song. Me, I have cousins who are embarrassed to listen to this song. Because then they want to listen to Europe. They want to listen to Jesus take the wheel. See, because that is making them feel like they are modern. Illusion. These ones that you are running away from are the ones that have the secrets of your, how do you call it, of your renewal. So guys, yes, really as an Asian, can I see African ancestors? Africa is where everybody comes from, my friend. If you want, Africa is where everybody comes from. You know, before your ancestor that was Asian, there was an ancestor that was African. And that's why Africans, they look like everyone. We have Africans who look like Europeans. We have Africans who look like Chinese. We have Africans who look like Indonesians. We have Africans who look like Australians. And Africa as everyone. This is where the seeds are of everyone. Everyone's seed is here. So if you want to bulldoze, if you want to dodge all the nonsense, just uproot yourself from Asia and go to Africa direct. That's where you're going to find yourself. But then you can also walk slowly. You can still walk slowly. But if you want to move quickly, Africa direct. That's where your ancestors are. But then when you come to Africa, also be careful. Just maintain your autonomy because things are contaminated here as well. Thank you. The ancestors are always working with me. Thank you very much, amazing Jim. Me, the ancestors are always working with me on 7 days a week. I have no problems. The only problem I have is teaching. That's the only thing that occupies my mind 7 days a week. Because that's what I came here to do and I love it. I love it so much. Nothing can ever take me away from it. And that continues. Africa. Yes, this is where everybody comes from. Even those albinos. Albinism starts from here. Muhammad, wacha kuniuliza swali ya ujinga sana. Mimi sasa don't want to talk about politics. Right now, let everybody think for themselves when it comes to public participation. My job is only to teach. If you want gossip, join my team here. This is where I gossip. I will not gossip publicly. Because right now, even political views, don't ask me about whatever is happening in the world. I don't care. I will gossip here only on the fans only. Think for yourself when it comes to public participation because there is examination. And I'm that student who I don't want to steal exam for you. I will only steal exam for my friends, for my people, for my subscribers. Everybody else, think for yourself during exam period. The portal that... Yeah, and I'm telling the truth because, guys, I'm that student who I used to steal exams for my classmates and it got me into a lot of trouble with my teacher. Right now, I'm in the world. I will not steal exams for, I will not spoon feed you when it comes to thinking. Develop your Anubis alone. Develop your Anubis alone. Develop your Anubis alone. My Anubis is for sharing with my people. Those are the people that share my friends and my staff. Those are the people who
Wow, good
I
job.
will be gossiping with. Because right now, the world is at a point where the ground is being laid flat. Only excellence is going to win. Opus Dei was killing excellence. All these USAID things were empowering people who don't deserve it. And then taking away from people who deserve. But now that they've been removed, excellence reigns. So go be excellent and you will have an easy life. If you want to depend, you will have the most difficult life you'll ever see. How do you protect yourself from iconoclasm? Trump already did it for you. Trump and Elon Musk. Thank them. Thank their gods. Because Trump and Elon Musk are just flags. There are people who are behind them and supporting them. Thank those people. The people who made the decision to choose them. Thank them because they are killing iconoclasm. They are killing iconoclasm. When they remove USAID funding, there are people who are being funded to be gay. And then they come here on TikTok and you think that, oh my God, look at the way they are living. I want that kind of a life. It is all an illusion. They are being funded to live like that. Now it is not there anymore. So from now on, if you see somebody living their life, know that it is their life. They are sweating for it. Because even the people that were funding them, it was the American taxpayers' money that was being used to fund everyone. All transgenders were being funded, but they are not using their own money. So right now you're seeing a lot of transgenders that are coming saying that, oh, even if you don't support us, we will support ourselves. With what money? With what money? Because without money, and you know a man who decides to become a woman is killing their own Osiris, their own self-support. Where will you get the money to flaunt? Where will you get the money to live the luxury now that Americans are taking their money back? Where will you get the money? Hakuna, umekufa. Iconoclasm is dead. Hakuna mama ya mtu hapa. Right now you have to sweat for your own money. Hakuna mama ya mtu hapa sahi. Only the people who deserve it. And please start supporting the people who deserve it. Sorry. Start supporting the people who deserve it. Please stop supporting people who don't deserve it. Kila mtu ajitume exactly. When you see them crying, tell them kila mtu ajitume. Fanya kazi, wacha kukaa ati Americans wanakulisha hapa. Mimi nafurahi sana mumenyang'anywa pesa. Na walikuwa wanataka hapa sisi ndo tunyang'anywa pesa. Umenyang'anywa pesa. Demonicness no longer supported. That's why Trump is very good. And Trump is very good for his own people. Not Africa. Africa also you have to be for yourself. Everybody for themselves now. God for us all. Right now it's everybody for himself. God for us all. So support
They teach them
people
how
who
to fall,
deserve it.
so it's okay.
Yes, ni kujituma na mimi najituma. Right now you think it's easy. You know, if you think it's easy to do what I do, try it. Try do what I do. I wake up at 6 a.m. I'm on OnlyFans. I'm teaching my people. I come here every time. I'm here. I'm teaching my people. I do as I promise. I'm teaching my people. I'm doing my clients. I'm seated on this particular sewing machine. I'm making clothes. Najituma. And as long as unajituma, utapanda mlima, utakwea mlima wa maisha. As long as unajituma, utakwea mlima wa maisha. Mgagaa na upwa hali wali mkavu. Mgagaa na upwa hali wali mkavu. Hautawahi kula wali mkavu kama unajituma. Kama unajituma hautawahi kula wali mkavu, lazima tutakuwa na kitoweo. Jitume. Sio kukakaa hapo unangoja sponsor. Hakuna sponsor sahi. Sahi hakuna sponsor, wanaume wenyewe wamesota. Right now the money is going to women's pocket. If you are not careful, women we are dominating. Women we are dominating. Kama wewe si mwanamke unataka kujituma, women are selling themselves, nail tech, hair tech, fashion. Women are selling themselves. If you are not, pesa inatukujia sisi ndio wa kusema in future. Wanawake ndio tutakuwa tunakaa na pesa, wanaume wanakuja hapo wanatudansia kama ndege. Wanaume watakuwa wanatudansia kama ndege, tuchague kama tunawapatia kidogo kidogo ama tusiwape. You know what is happening? Because men are beggars of feminine spaces. So we are the ones who will be organizing fashion show for men. Show me what you got, bitch. Ama utoke uende, ukauke na uko. So if you're a woman, get yourself on the man. If you're a woman, get your hands on the man. I don't know how you're going to get your hands on the money, but get your hands on the man. Men are barren lands. Get your hands on them. That's how you're going to be in control, because life is going back to how it was. We're going back to taking control as African women. Get your hands on them. Don't talk domo. Get your hands on the money, because the time is coming where if you don't have money, shut up. That is where we are headed. Right now, the world is still very docile. Anybody can just talk. Even the ones who are broke can just talk. But a time is coming when if you don't have the money, shut the fuck up. That is the time that is coming.
That might be it.
Right now, everybody can talk. Right now, all frogs can croak everywhere. That's why you see people like me, and I'm so grateful for this time, because people like me, I started talking with zero money. But I'm climbing, and a time is coming where you will not talk without money. Osiris, without Osiris, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to live. Without Osiris, shut the fuck up. What are you saying? Nyamazisha sauti kama hauna pesa wewe. That is the time that is coming. So please organize your house right now, because the world is still lenient. The world is still lenient. I'm telling you, the world is still lenient right now. It is messy in the future. The future is messy. The future, if you don't have money, no friendship, no voice, because now we are headed towards the future where everybody has their own hard-earned money. Hard-earned money. And you don't want to see the arrogance of people who have had their own hard-earned money. You don't want to see the arrogance and the spiritual stubbornness of people who have their own money. And they have a group of others who have their own money, who are making their own money. Meaning they wanajituma and they are important to the society. They are in demand. For example, if somebody is a good doctor, they are in demand. They are in demand. They are a good doctor. Everybody wants their services. That is where we are headed. We are headed to a world of excellence. If you're not excellent, you're going to fall to the bottom of the pyramid automatically. So please, start right now, where everyone is starting. Everyone is starting. Even countries, whole countries are starting. African countries are starting. Start building your excellence right now. The future.
It would look better with anything that I wear, right?
That is not easy for people who are not excellent. I'll tell you that for free. Some people will wait to confirm. I Sulu. Some people are going to wait to confirm. I Sulu. Yes, the pyramid is shape-shifting. Where?
Some escapes. Yeah, but then when I expect it,
then you will know the real meaning of Osiris. You will know the real meaning of Osiris when the world gets to a point where only excellence reigns. Only excellence reigns. Utachapwa na jua hadi ukufe. Jua itakubonga hadi ukufe. Yeah, so
although these are comfy, the inside has like an arch thing. Yes. So I wouldn't find either a men's, right?
the ones who are planting their own burgers and bringing them to the market. Rich. So kama hauko hapo utahangaika. Utahangaika. Me, I'm telling you. They are trying to, they've been trying, but remember the world, Tulia Mumbi, the world belongs to Mumbi, the world belongs to the Creator. Nobody, unless the Creator says yes, nobody can pass. Unless the Creator says yes, no activation can occur. Force and military prowess was able to dominant. The 7 days. Harvesting the 7 days. Harvesting the 7 days. Start harvesting your 7 days. Stop wasting your 7 days. Start harvesting your 7 days. Stop wasting your 7 days. Mumbi ushered in freedom for Africa. We need her to awaken. She has already awakened everyone. Who is asleep right now? Who is asleep right now? Everybody has been awakened. If not, the one was not awake, we wouldn't be having the type of changes that we are having. We are seeing.
Like, yeah, the boots are 10. Yeah, and these boots are.
Look at me. Tumeshaamsha sasa, tumekaa tunajenga. People are already awake now. People are seated building. Also, don't spend your entire life awakening people. There's a time to awaken and there's a
I wanted them to.
No, I cannot.
The awakening has already happened. Now sit down and focus on something. Tuko packed, exactly. Now it's occupying space. Right now it's occupying space within the 7 days. Awakening has already happened. Guys also know the world is moving. We don't stay in one place for the rest of our life. Right now awakening has already occurred. Sit and build. Kaa chini ujenge. Awakening is kaa chini ujenge. One thing I'll tell you about building, you have to be organized. Organized. The feminine is organized. Can you see the patterns in nature? See the patterns among the flowers. See the patterns among the petals. I think the patterns in nature to show you the youth. Organize. Say the time of organize yourself. Even my ring is telling you this is like a video. These are reptilia. Now look. Very organized. The patterns in nature are always there to check you.
She's like,
No one is bad, no one is good. It depends on where you're going. If you're going to the direction of consciousness, you will be focused.
I know she wants to create, but it's like so overlaps.
You are just to go to the right. What is the generation? What direction is the generation moving? If you decide to move down the direction of where the generation is moving, vomit and house. You must also organize yourself. Like I'm telling you, nature things are always organized. Organize yourself. And I think I'm a very good example for organizing. I'm organized, guys. Me, I'll give myself my own flowers. I'm very organized. I'm always very organized. I organize my life. I organize everything. Organize yourself. Don't be somebody. You don't have to feel like TikTok is a very good platform. If you organize yourself, TikTok is like tired. In fact, TikTok is tired. And some people think that I'm only making money on TikTok because I'm going live right now. I started making money on TikTok a while ago. And if you are here and you are buying from me, I started making money on TikTok.
Even if it's less than this one.
I was telling you I was making sales every day from TikTok. TikTok, if you put something that people love, as long as you love it, people don't love it, you're going to find your people who are going to love it and buy from you. I shop everything from TikTok. Everything everything that I own. TikTok. You are making money here. Organize yourself. And then come to TikTok. These are platforms. And it's not going away. People are manifesting it for it to go away. Lazy people want TikTok to go away because they can't start seeing other people. Get out of TikTok. TikTok is not going anywhere. Another platform will come. Consciousness has already so this particular environment, it is not going away. Organize yourself. Start selling your things here. Come here as a talent. Come here as a teacher.
Yeah, I got the, I wasn't in there the whole day. Once I stood there, I'm like, oh, look at me.
It is men that are unorganized. Patriarchy is unorganized. And that's why they got nowhere.
Happy Super Bowl, guys.
Oh, jeez. I don't even watch anymore. Yeah. Are you going to watch?
Yeah, we're
Another one is
yeah, we go every year.
another one is no matter the one in Africa, useless. Organize yourself to work.
I don't even know.
Yeah, on TikTok, I see people dance.
You're welcome.
You dance well.
I didn't see her come in.
My friend.
She must have been here early.
You offer service that is tangible. We give you
Did you
mine,
find
my
out
friend.
how
You
things
offer
went in
product that
Bravo?
is lovely that we give you mine,
first
my
come.
friend.
What do you know she
Yeah, she said that they were going to the faraway one.
That's all I'm telling you.
Okay, that's fine.
Organize yourself and then start harvesting the 7 days. And one thing with the 7 days is that there is a time to plant and a time to harvest. There is a time to reap and a time to sow. There is a time to cry and a time to laugh. There is a time for winter and a time for summer. That is life. That is the nature of Bantu terrains. Bantu terrains will always tell you there's a time to climb and a time to go down. A time to climb and a time to go down. So as you organize your things, also know that there's no bulldozer.
Marissa doesn't
You will not just shoot.
understand that when
You will
you
have
took the pressure
to
off of
spend
yourself, right?
time.
And
But
you're
as
good to
long as
go.
you are seeing
So you have
results,
level 2
don't
in the
stop.
bag. Now you're relaxed.
And don't compete with anyone.
to
The
be
only
able
people you need to
to
compete with are your
finesse the level
bloodline.
3.
Where
And she's
did
like,
your mother
other than that,
reach?
you would have been kind of like stressed and
Where did your
pushing
mother
hard
reach
and
to
pushing
compete
forward
with
and
that?
doing too much.
Where did your
So I
bloodline reach?
totally, and she was like, that's exactly
You don't
how I
compete with
needed
anybody
to feel.
else. Even if they bait you, people who bait you into competing with them
and your
are
mind is
baiting you
free.
into
And
failure.
now 3 is
Into
going to
illusion.
come even
So compete
easier.
with nobody
Right?
and keep your
And
eyes
it looks so good
on
and
your
so
prime.
strong.
Keep your eyes on your goal and start walking even if you don't
And
know
you,
the
bro,
way.
when you start off rock
As you start to
coming
walk,
down,
the way will
it's like,
appear.
whoa, this girl's coming with
The spiritual
force.
path is
And
like
but
driving at
it's
night.
get smushed.
You start driving, you can't see the entire road, but the road, the immediate road is there. That is the journey of the planet. That is the journey of the planet. Sometimes you can only see
Next time we get
Saturday.
together, such a good
But as you start walking, Sunday will appear.
Is good.
As you reach Sunday, Monday will appear. As you reach Monday, Tuesday will appear. Start walking.
Really
Even if you don't know
So
the
today
whole
we're putting enough
road,
energy.
even if you don't have the entire plan,
It's good.
you start walking from where you are.
Yeah.
Are we together, my people? How do you activate the 7-day planet? The 7-day planet are activated by chai. Authenticity.
It's been a good year. So.
Be authentic every day. Every day you make sure you try as hard as you can to not do what you don't want to do. Every day you try as hard to not do what you don't want to do. From the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, you make sure you try so much to not do what you don't want to do. If you try today like this, tomorrow it will be like this. The next day it will be like this. Until you hit a point where your body on default doesn't do what it doesn't want to do on its own. But before you get into that neuroplasticity,
But
you
if
must
you already,
trigger.
if this year,
You
yeah, I know it
must
doesn't really
trigger
matter,
the
right?
change.
But
You must
open.
trigger
Like, you want
yourself
open to do whatever.
into
What if you
walking.
get 3
And then you don't,
like
the
level
beauty
3
of the
in the
planet is
bag,
that
and you're
you
already
don't walk
training
every day. You will not
for-
get bored. Because there's
Exactly, so
expansion.
who knows where you're gonna
You
land,
start
but
and then the
it's
body starts
exciting
going
that
on
you're
its own.
progressing.
Like a machine. You have to switch it on. And then when you switch it on, it moves on.
So good, like
never ran so fast.
Someone is asking how to trigger once. Every day when you wake up,
struggling, you don't
ask
look
your
rough,
body.
they look like
Now this one is a kindergarten. Now this kindergarten Luane, listen to me. From tomorrow when you wake up from the bed, before you do anything, sit on the bed and ask your body, what do you feel like doing today? Please tell me what you want to do. And if your body tells you, go back to sleep, I feel like going back to sleep. Follow without questions. Be like a slave when it comes to you listening to your authenticity. Your authenticity is the master, you are the slave.
It's like, you like pickles?
And even if your authenticity tells you to move in a direction
Really asking everybody
that the
like, do y'all
collective
like pickles?
consciousness
Everyone's saying yes.
considers
Like, alright.
negative, move.
She's even like
There's a lesson there
burgers.
for
It's
you.
the best part.
There's an unlearning there for you that you're going to do. So
Such a good
this is the
idea.
beauty of authenticity.
Yeah.
With authenticity, you will not be able to please
The way the
anyone
place is set up, you guys can just.
but yourself.
The only thing about
That's why a lot of people, me personally, I'm a very authentic individual. A lot of people have an issue with me
She's so easy.
because I am not their role model. I don't behave like the book that they've written
So,
that I should
you
behave.
notice
Maybe their
this?
ancestors interacted with my ancestors who are
Did I
now they're
notice? Of
expecting
course
me
I
to do
did.
this. I
So,
will not.
She'd 4.
Yeah, so I
If
told
you
her
don't like, leave.
last week, the last time we were in
The
Clanburg
truth
was the
does
first
not
time I
require
actually
your participation for it
to talk to
I will
her.
let
Like,
you
and then I said
speak
to her, she's like, oh, Leah's struggling.
So that is
she's
what
so
authenticity is all
unhappy and
about.
she doesn't know if she's going to do this.
Authenticity
I said,
requires you to please
okay, but
only
does
you.
Leah doesn't have to quit. I'm like, does she do any kind of strength training? She's like, no. I'm like, well, how do you think that
And what if they
she's
have
going to
school?
progress if
Now
she
that is a
doesn't
slave.
strengthen
If
her
you're still a
arms and
slave,
stretch and
be a
stuff?
good slave,
She said
bro.
she found a
you have
program
school, go to
online
school.
and Leah does it
Dedicate
every
yourself
single
towards
day.
serving
She
your time.
wakes
When you're a
up
slave, you have
every
a term. It's
day
like
and she
you're in
does it.
jail.
And
Serve
look
that
at the
term. Even as we
improvement.
were in
And we
school,
didn't think about
I
it.
served the
I
term.
know.
I graduated
I was like,
crawling. I
oh, like,
graduated to, I
you can see the
crossed
progress.
the
She's
graduation
like,
line when I was in
this is
university.
insane. So she's
I
like, she's angry
crawled
because
to
she's
the
like,
graduation
come
line,
to a
but I
gym for
ensured
a
I
competitive
finished
program,
my
and
term.
they don't tell
I
you
served
what
my
to
term.
do.
Those are jails.
I looked at her, I'm like,
Serve your term and then
Get
become
on the-
free.
get on the
When I talk
bandwagon,
about
because I know
authenticity, I'm talking
the
to the
and
people
she's
who are
like, if you
free.
never told me.
The
She's
people who
like,
are
"Really?"
adults.
And I
The
said,
people who are 24 years and above.
So of course I'm gonna tell you.
Those are people who should be free.
Leah's so
Jupiter twice, you are free. Expansion twice, you are free. So those are the people I'm talking about. If you're still in jail, please serve your jail term faithfully and finish the jail term. And then get into building. You cannot build when you're in jail. Have you ever had people in jail saying that, give me time and go build my house there a little bit? When you're in jail, serve your jail term and finish.
Super pleased.
And being in jail is also being under the care of your
Oh,
parents.
God.
There's nothing nobody can
Go
do.
to Wonderland.
Even if you cry that my parents, it's your jail term, serve it and finish. But as you are in jail, devise a prison. After you leave jail, where are you going? When you are in jail, you're supposed to be dreaming of where you're going after jail. When you're in jail, you're supposed to be dreaming of where you're going. And yes, corporate world is jail
I
too.
wanna see if I can
Simple. You're building somebody else's empire.
What and why.
But what next after
But
that?
I was just like,
If you're in corporate,
I'll
what
take you
next
there
after
first,
that?
and then maybe we can take.
Because some people are in corporate to leverage experience. So maybe the experience that you're getting from that corporate is going to help you build your own empire. Your body will never be in places that are useless to you. Every place that you are in right now is useful to you in the future. Just be there and make sure you are alive. Make sure you don't die in jail. Make sure you leave jail alive. Me, I'll tell you for free, I've gone through school, primary, secondary, university, finished, clean, without repeating. And I'll tell you, it was jail. I never lied to you and tell you that, school was so nice. Even though I was a very excellent student in school, it was jail. I'll tell you that, okay, I did not like it. Especially the type of schools that we have now. Me, I did not like it, but I finished. I made sure I finished. Because also finishing school, graduating from university especially, it tests your ability to commit. Anybody who has ever graduated, even if it was a useless course, you graduated with the ability to commit to something and finish. Some people cannot. There are people who they don't have the gift of committing to the finish line. Some people they cannot reach the finish.
She's like, all I want her to do is to
So
go
as
in
long
at
as
the
you
level
graduated,
where I
me,
can see her
anybody who has ever
confidence,
graduated,
and
I
she's like, yeah,
salute you.
she's
I'm
ready.
always saluting because graduating from
She's like,
university is the
that's
most
exactly- I
difficult
didn't
thing
wanna
because
be
it
here
requires
today
level of
saying
commitment. Can you commit? Can you commit to yourself? And if you've ever graduated, know that that's proof you can commit to something from the finish, from start to finish. If you did not finish, then start. Prove to yourself you can finish something.
Like it's only February.
Prove to yourself that you can finish something.
February. Imagine where you're gonna be before the.
I cannot comment on marriage because I've never been
this
married.
is too exciting.
I don't think I want to be married because Africans philosophy book says that high priestess must never get married. So me, I consider myself a high priestess.
No, I tripped.
I don't think I'll
wait
ever
for you to
marry
hang out
anybody.
with Leah.
I am not to be long to one. I'm not meant to belong to one person. I'll never. It's not my thing. I'm not interested in knowing how it goes. It's not my line. And this is one thing that even my grandmother, and then let me just tell you, my grandmother is a midwife. One day my grandmother called me and told me, don't get married. And she was telling me this absent-minded. She told me not, and I feel like the spirit in her was what was telling me. Because later on when I asked her, like, Grandma, why were you telling me not to get married? And then she was like, oh, did I tell you, Mimi, I told you to get married. I would love for you to get married, but she told me, never get married. So me, it's not my thing. I don't have children. The only child I have is this work that I do. Somebody's asking me, do you have children? Yes, I have children, which is this work that I do. And I'm also still pregnant with a university, a midwifery institution in my stomach here. And this pregnancy might take 10 years at maximum. The pregnancy will take 10 years maximum. But I'm pregnant right now, and I'm also having a child, which is my TikTok business and my sewing business. I have children here, my sewing business, and I also have a bird. Those are my kids. Somebody's asking me, are you celibate? I love sex. I cannot be celibate. I don't think I can be celibate. I can stay away from sex, but I can never be like, I don't want to have sex. I love people. I love exchanging energy. I love indulging in intimacy. I love seeing into people. In fact, it's my favorite thing in the world. My favorite thing in the world to do is intimacy. I don't like hanging out with people at let's just go for a date, at friendship, we are I don't do friendships. In fact, I don't do friendships. I do sex things. So if you want to be my friend, there's no room. I don't like just hanging out with people. Somebody is just my friend. I don't do that.
What's wrong?
It's okay to do it if it is your thing, but me, I don't do that. I don't do that. We are just friends.
Preoccupied
I will
with the
fuck my
outing or whatever, but just make the appointment. And if I
Because I'm
forget
always
just
so
an
sexual in
alignment
my
and
head,
a couple
like-
things done, it'll take this away.
If somebody is so amazing to me, I'll just be like, yeah. So that's what I am. I don't like friendships. Like for what? I'm okay by myself. If you're going to be in my life, we're
There
going
was
to
a break
do
in
things.
between because of the
Unless you're a client, unless you're doing business, unless
So
you're
I
working.
heard her asking Leah and them if they can train
Are we
her
together?
Friday. And they were like, yeah,
That
so
is so
that's a
dope.
big
I've never answered
no.
that.
At
But yeah, that is like I don't like I get bored
Well, obviously,
when we are
everything
just
comes out.
people and we are hanging out and we are what? If you are going to get me outside my house, you're going to give me something. Utanipatia kuma my dear. Utanipatia kuma ukinitoa kwa nyumba yangu.
I saw this little black girl doing being. And the way she set her diaphragm, she's really good
We're
at
at the
being.
time where
I was gonna ask you if you ever
Sex
sucked
is
in
on
all
the
of your
throne,
organs into your
waiting for
diaphragm
Heru
before when you're doing
challenge
being.
him. So guys,
You know what that feels like?
Trump is going to be
Yeah.
Trump is going
Because
to make
she
sure that
looked
black
like
people
that.
prove themselves. Trump is going to make sure that you always say black excellence. Black excellence. Africa was a kingdom.
I don't
Africa
even
was
know
the
where I
richest.
am. I
Now
haven't
Trump
even
is
been
going to
paying
make you
attention on this
prove
road since I've been driving.
Prove it.
I don't know what I passed or what's coming up.
You can't keep
Nothing.
telling us that, oh, our ancestors were mighty, our ancestors were mighty, they are in you now.
All I could
Prove
notice
it.
was awesome. Everything was
That is what Trump is doing. And people, nategea. Ni kuma imenileta hapa ama matiti? Kama si kuma na matiti.
And he keeps calling me and recording my call.
What's your star sign in the African zodiac? I am set. Now I am the embodiment of set. Hey, we will hold you
I'm
accountable.
recording my stuff.
Set is here to hold you accountable.
That's right, I forgot.
Somebody's asking me, are you a lesbian? No, I am a beautician.
Really good.
Two thumbs
I
and
like
two
people who love themselves. I like people who support themselves. I like people who have 12 houses that are appealing to me. Right now, as I'm even talking about it, I'm thinking about someone. I have people who have 12 houses that I like. Fuck. Let me not even talk about it. If your 12 houses look bonda to me, no. If your 12 houses look bandia, I don't care whether you are a man or a woman. Stop. Doggy. Casio. Mbona unasema
I just
unategea
passed.
kuma na matiti? Cause napenda kuma na matiti.
You just passed Finch.
Mimi kuma na matiti napenda. Kwanza matiti. Fuck. If you want to kill me. Boobs. Hey. Matiti tu ndio itaniua. Tano itaniua. Tano itaniua. Napenda kufeel.
So next I go to yours.
I love feeling and I love being felt.
He's exiting.
Okay.
Social Africans. No. Me, you be where you are. Be where you feel comfortable. As long as you are able to prove yourself from where you are. What are the highly spiritual hours? It depends. It depends on your own individual birth chart. Highly spiritual hours are dependent on your own spiritual birth chart. But if I'm to speak about it, I would say equinoxes and the solstices. The equinoxes and the solstices are the most spiritual hours. So still it depends on your own birth.
Leo.
Kwa hiyo iko ingine mbona?
Okay, bye.
Mbona? How can one enhance their creativity? Sexuality is creativity. It is sex that creates. If you want to enhance your creativity, just be sexual as fuck. Usiogope sex. If you want to enhance creativity, don't be afraid of sex.
I know what I'm
Move
feeling.
towards
It's
sex like you're moving towards
you had
flowers.
a straight up tumble track,
That's
full
not-
length,
that's
every
not
single time you train.
Really don't have
Do you
are
fun.
sexual, you become very
understand
creative.
progress that you would have
That's
made?
it every day.
Yeah, and that's why for me this is just ridiculous.
Sounds
Like,
too good to be true.
yeah.
So your birthday is
But I heard
between...
she wants to break the wall.
No, my birthday is in
No, last year she
February.
wanted
I don't want to talk
break
about my
the wall
birthday.
because obviously
It's not bad. You have to know yourself
it's growing
first.
and she has to break the wall.
Siri, someone
I just don't know
has
how it's
asked me about the Vatican portals.
Right.
Vaticans have nothing. The only portals they have are
end up
illusion.
in the storage.
Those are the weakest weaklings.
Oh, at least you got a head start. There you go.
The public participation is the only thing keeping them alive. Public money. You know your sadaka. Your sadaka is what the Vatican is dependent on.
Bro,
Without
you
that
know this
sadaka
so
they
well
fall.
in tumbling. Like you look
And
so
sadaka imetolewa na
relaxed when
Trump.
you do
Trump anatoa sadaka.
Like it's so
My
it's
God.
like one.
The future
So
is
it's one
amazing
one.
to see.
Very
Now that sadaka imetolewa.
not
Watching you all the way from South Africa, I love you. I love you too. I love you too. You're Aquarius.
I'm looking forward to.
Why you so smart? Yeah, I'm Aquarius.
I want to see what
I
time
know my
those
song.
munchkins
How do you
go, if
flirt
they're like
with
just
girls?
before you or after you.
Not in a
so
friend.
you can watch.
Me, I look into your eyes
People,
and I
they're the
know
same,
if you want to
they're
fuck
the
me or
same
not.
day, almost like same
I just
time
look
as
at
me
one
as well.
glance inside your eyes
Yeah.
and I know. I know. So yeah, it's there's that something in the eye. There's some eye communication. According to me, maybe some people it's different. But me, there's a way you look at me and I know shit is about to go down.
Really though?
The fuck? Even if you pretend you are lying. So yeah.
Really though?
Hey, don't ask me about
Sometimes
the
the best
past,
things
man.
because
We're in
it's
the
like-
future right now.
Government property. you can
We
do whatever.
already came away from that. Can you look into mine? Oh, when we meet. If we ever meet, oh, Flavian is here. Siri, what if you have a crush on a man and you just can't get rid of it, then find out. Like, I've never had a crush on a man, but I'm guessing like I'll just apply it like with the women. Just go find out. Find out. What's your thought on one night stands? I don't recommend. If you want to have good sex, prepare for it. Prepare for it. If you want to, one night stands is like alcohol type of sex. Like, give yourself time to foreplay, to think about. Like, sex is sacred. Take time. Like, take 3 days. Let each other know that tunanyandwana by then
How
Saturday.
come Christina didn't?
But start planning it like
How come Christina didn't come
on Thursday or Wednesday.
to the tumbling?
Just tell him that,
Robert's
you know,
breaking in
on
her
Saturday, are you... and then start planning it.
Because like that.
Early. Like, it gives you more room. It's like going shopping. You don't just want to go shopping. You meet someone and you're going shopping. Like, just take
But
time.
she, I
Because you're
told
going to
you,
accept the ancestral
she has a
law.
lot of health problems, right?
She does? You never told me.
You say we should
So
protect
her mom
our
says she doesn't
Yes,
tumble
real estate. Protect your real
or
estate.
sport,
Anytime
because she likes it. She
A
tumbles
phallus is
because if she
accessing your
didn't, she
vagina,
wouldn't be able
it's
to get out of bed
accessing your
every
real
day.
estate, your ancestral
But she
real
has a
estate. They want
disease or a
space.
condition
Men are
where
colonizers.
inflammation builds
Just
up.
like the Greeks.
And
They
listen,
want
I
space.
can't even remember all the
So
stuff the
protect
mom
the
says,
spaces
but
that
she
your
has a
ancestors
disease.
gave you to pedal.
And that
Don't
being
hope. Some people are hawkers of
is the one
ancestral
thing
space.
that
They are
keeps
hawking
her
ancestral
body
space
being
everywhere.
able to move.
Giving back to every Tom, Dick,
Yeah,
and Harry.
so she couldn't stop.
Protect your
even if
ancestral
she
space so that
wanted
at least
to.
you can bring
So it doesn't matter
Mansa
if she's maxed out. She
You
can't
know, Zuma.
any higher. It doesn't matter.
You know, you
she
can
will
bring
always have to do it.
Sarafina.
There's other
Chaka
people who have
Chaka.
the disease that don't
Sio
do things.
Kimau.
They're already
You
bedridden.
bring people of value to the planet as a woman.
What?
Don't be a hawker who is bringing drunkards and rapists. When I get, at least he did, you know, at least it's to imagine if your son was Zuma, you know, tangible. At least they're known, you know, at least they get into a position where they can make decisions for the world. How do you know if your sickness or body pain is spiritual? No, there's nothing off topic right now. I'm done with the topic I was teaching. So how do you know if your sickness and body pain, everything is spiritual? Nothing happens in the physical without it first passing in the spiritual. Even when you're robbed, you can't be robbed in the physical dimension before you get robbed in the spiritual dimension.
It's like the way
So
it
everything
sounds,
always starts
it's
in the
like
spiritual
body
dimension before
is
it
full of
manifests in the physical. So
information.
protect your
And
spiritual
if she would
existence,
just eat different
and then you will
foods and
never have
flush
to
out the
care about your
inflammation,
your
that can
physical
help
existence.
reverse her situation.
Yes, I believe in multiple dimensions.
Because inflammation is
Like even
just
right now we are
mucus.
in multiple dimensions. There are people who right now it is at night for us in Kenya.
No, I'm all out
It
of
is during the day
windshield
for
fluid.
America.
Shit.
You know, it is tomorrow it's already tomorrow in Japan.
So every time you use
It's already tomorrow in Australia.
That's how Dad uses it too.
You
That's the
know,
only
in
way to get
Europe,
the salt
they
off.
are still behind. Like there are some people that not even access this day. So dimensions are always. What about physical? Yes, you will never start a physical fight without you first fighting with yourself in the spiritual. So every time you find yourself fighting in the physical dimension, know that you already fought yourself in the spiritual. If you want to be a peaceful person who nobody's stealing from, who is not experiencing any fracas, you're living in heaven, then protect yourself in the spiritual. Then nothing will ever ambush you in the physical. And if it tries, the universe will itself set foot in place and remove it.
I mean, no, Bramley.
If nobody was supposed to rob you because you haven't robbed yourself in the physical dimension, then if someone tries to rob you in the physical, an elephant will come out of nowhere or a lion will come out of nowhere and kill them immediately. So always know that nothing will ever happen to you in the physical without it first happening to you in the spiritual. I'm doing fine, thank you. Yeah. How do we protect our spiritual existence? Spiritual hygiene. Spiritual hygiene. Do no evil, accept no evil. Do no evil, accept no evil. Do no evil, accept. That is the basic. And then another basic is protect yourself. Only move towards wealth and away from poverty.
nervous.
And then another one, jitume. Send yourself. Use yourself.
Yeah,
And make sure you're not
now
being
that it dried up,
misused.
I can see.
Thank you. The work of my hands. This is the work of my hand that took me to France. So I'm always grateful. There are two of them. One of them is here, and then there's that one. So I keep them as
What's this guy doing?
Yes, invest in the day. Harvest the day. You are so talented. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's out there just sitting there. Like, how's that supposed to help anybody?
Hey, nani space build ni nini unaweza fanya? Usiniambie uko na miaka ngapi kwanza space build? Space build niambie uko na miaka ngapi kwanza hata before tuendelee. What about sex? Sex dreams are there to show you the direction you're going towards. And I don't want to talk about dreams, but sex dreams are there to show you the direction that you're going towards. If you find yourself having sex with someone in a dream, notice them. Notice the 12 houses that they have. Which 12 houses do you like about them? It is telling you about the type of 12 houses that you're about to embody, or the type of partner that you're about to meet. So when you find yourself having sex with someone in a dream, just notice them. Notice the things you like about them more than you notice even the identity of the person. Just notice the things you like. It is speaking to you about the things that you're about to create for yourself. Huyu space build ni Mkenya, nataka nimshughulikie. Ako wapi? Ama asemi kitu? Can you speak about the sleep hours and it's important? The sleep hours is important to maintain a circadian rhythm. Just always make sure that the time that you go to sleep is the time, and the time that you wake up are the same. Don't be somebody who today you go to sleep at 9 and then tomorrow you wake up at 6. Then the next day you go to sleep at midnight and then you wake up at 9. Then another day you go sleep the same time every day and wake up the same time every day. You'll have a nice circadian rhythm. Sleep the same time every day and wake up the same time every day. You'll have a nice circadian rhythm that is helpful to you.
I should just run my car.
Don't disorganize yourself.
Run my car through the car wash where we get burgers.
So mimi niko 25 najituma aje. Nini unajua kufanya? When you were born Diana, you came here with a plan. And let nobody should tell me that they did not have a plan as a child. Every child is born knowing very well that this is what I want to be and this is how I'm going to be it. Every child has that plan. What was yours, Diana? Ulikuwa unataka kuwa nini ukiwa mdogo? Na ulikuwa umejipangaje utafika huko? Because your plan, it is viable and it works. And anybody that moved you away from that plan was demonic to your essence. And you need to go back to that plan. That plan that you had as a child, it works. Even if it was crazy, it works. Mimi yangu bado naendelea nayo hadi wa leo. Hata kama watu wanaongea. Something like OnlyFans, I dreamt of doing such kind of a thing when I was a little kid. I'm doing it right now. Hata kama nimeanza late. Nafanya, but hata sijaanza late because nilishaanzanga nikaacha kidogo. And then sasa nimerudi. I always wanted to teach of some sort. I always admired talking and art and doing stuff like this. I'm doing the things that I said I would do as a child. Are you doing the things that you said you would do as a child? Or something happened and then you stop? Some people, they say that, oh, I want to become a fashion designer. As a child, they say that. And then they go to school, they get A's. And then their parents tell them that, oh, with A's you cannot be a fashion designer. Go do some doctors that you are moving away from your plan. You should always stick to your plan no matter what. No matter what. Some kids, they come here and they say, I want to become the queen to my own castle. And I'm going to get that through my vagina. And they make it. While some people, they say it and then they, along the line, they get married. They have children and then now they cannot sell their real estate anymore. Omera, stick to the plan that you had as a child. Even if it was crazy and ridiculous, stick to that. Because that plan works. I'll tell you that for free. As a child, life was chaotic. I can't remember. You can recall if you sit properly. Every child, even I was born in a thunderstorm. Chaotic as fuck in Madari. Bottom of the barrel. But I held on to my plan. And I saw my friends let go. Because the plan that one thing about the plans, one thing about why do you sound so angry? I'm Aset. Aset is angry because Aset has been duplicated. Aset has been manipulated. Aset has been shut down. So please allow me as a black woman to be angry. Anyway, as I was saying, as a child, one thing is the universe will even
People
put you
always
among children
stressing her
that
out
want to
and
do the
thinking
same things that you want to do.
That's how she talks.
Me, I was put among kids that we wanted to become the same things. But as along the line, as I was continuing to choose myself, I watched my friends drop. I watched my friends stop. I watched my friends give up on the Shadomado. I watched my friends leave the plan and fall into other things, and they became miserable. Some of them died. But me, I kept on. So there's always a plan, and it doesn't matter what chaos you were born in. Every child has a plan. What was your plan?
I always thought that was weird.
Sweet, unaweza talk about accessing milele. For God so loved the world that he gave. Now let me say it in a sec. For a sec so loved the world that she gave her only begotten son, or her only begotten child, because we don't know. Heru might be a girl.
For no reason.
For as far as I'm concerned. So let me say it again. For a set so loved the world that she gave her only begotten child, Heru, hours of the day. So that whoever believes in her, or him, or them, shall not perish, but have an everlasting life. Are you getting my point? That is the key to Milele. The key to Milele is that for a set authenticity, so loved the world that she gave her only begotten child, Heru, hours of the day. So that whoever believed in Heru shall not perish, but have. Milele! Do you get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. I always wanted to travel. Diana, what was your plan to travel? How are you planning to travel? Did you plan to get married to a rich man to travel? Because every child has a plan, and that plan works. Your plan was the universal plan. Even if you say that I'm going to travel by marrying a rich man, that plan works. Look for your rich man. They are there. If you say I'm going to travel by becoming excellent in school, dalili ya kuwa mawingu. Yeah. The plan that you had as a child, if you learned it, go find it. Go back to the drawing board. Where did the rain start beating you? How does one free themselves from expectations and live in authenticity? By just living in authenticity. And one thing, authenticity is supported by Asa. Well, you have to make sure that you're finding your own man. You have to make sure that you have your own voice. You have to make sure that you're supporting yourself on a daily basis. Because it is only money, wealth, that supports authenticity. Without wealth, authenticity is nothing. You're a slave. Without wealth, you will become a people pleaser. You have to do what the person who is giving you money is telling you to do. Without your own money, you must do whatever the person who is giving you that money is telling you to do. So the only way you empower your authenticity is look for your own money.
And then something in the diary.
Look for your own money and your authenticity will be free. As long as you're walking around a beggar, you're begging people, you have nothing to offer in exchange for money, then authenticity is not your portion. I want you to be a cabin crew, but I'm a very... That bat should not even be part of the question.
Well, I don't know. Like sometimes
There's nothing like bat.
like when things are not going well, but then when it's going well, I love your sport. I think your sport's really freaking
There's nothing like bat.
You gotta learn the tips.
There's nothing like bat, and that is the reason why we have disabled people to prove you wrong. There's nothing like bat. Whatever you wanted to become, you have the ability to become it. And you came here to create space for women who are short to become cabin crews. If you give up on it, then another descendant is going to come from your ancestral realm, short as you, to try and break that cycle for you. This is the first one. There's always a first time to everything. Yeah, thank you very much. So guys, this is the end zone. Me, I had multiple plans. Your plan, it works. Endelea nayo jamani. Endelea nayo. Wengine walikuja kufika milele na wakadanganywa milele ni jamani. Milele ni France. Milele ni UK. Sasa hizi wako UK. Sasa utaanza lazima sasa uanze kumove towards milele tena ama uzae mtoto aende. Some people they came here to reach milele. And truly they had that oomph to reach milele. And when they came here, everybody was telling them Milele is Europe, Milele is France. Milele is the UK, Milele is the United States, and they made it to the United States only to find out that that's not Milele. Now you have to reorient. You have to reorient ufike Milele, my friend. Because ushadanganywa hiyo ni Milele na hiyo si Milele. Na kama umechoka, if you're tired, give birth to a child afike Milele. Milele is eternal life. Eternal life. Establishing your consciousness here, eternal. That's what Milele is. Yeah, and a lot of Africans are very hardworking. If you look at the number of Africans who have made it to Europe because they believe that Europe is heaven, you people, me, I salute you. Because you know you have the oomph to move towards what your body is telling you to move towards. Now, because you are lied to, just repent, forgive the people who lied to you, and then move towards Milele now. You give my soul a workout. I am now. What's my yes? My Milele is not a limited space and time. Exactly. What about if you're not sure or forgot about what you love or plan to do as a child? Do you have a child more? If you've forgotten what you plan to do as a child, if you have a child, you've given birth, they have the manual for you. So thank your God. If you have a child and you've forgotten that, look at your child, connect with your child. They know where you're supposed to be going because that child is you in another dimension. But if you don't have children, then you'll have to remember. Go back to where your mother was when they were pregnant with you.
It's dry as a desert.
Go take a walk there. Go drink from the same water from the same source that your mother drank when they were pregnant with you. Go to speak to the people who saw your mother when they were pregnant with you. Go back to the place where your mother was when they were pregnant with you, and then go back to the place where you were, where you spent time from ages 1 to age 7. You will remember. It will reset you will remember. My plan is to marry you. Ay, you want to marry me? Wengine wetu si wa kuolewa jamani. Me, I am not yet to get married. If anything, if you are a man who is capable of of buying real estate from me, then you're going to have a real estate from me, but know that you will not be the only man with a real estate from me. I'm also looking at men who I can give real estate. And I only want seriously powerful men. If there's no powerful man to take real estate from me, nothing. I will leave physical real estate. I will not leave blood. But I've already seen certain men, like for example in Kenya here, I'm looking at Bradley Evie. I like that seed, but let's give him time. Let's see if he can tame the buffalo. If he can tame the buffalo, then we will find our way. If he will have a wife, then okay, we will stay away. But if he tames the buffalo before having a wife, you begu lazima tubebe. You begu lazima tubebe. If Bradley does not tame the buffalo, then Baron Trump is also having a height that I like. Yes. So me, I'm also looking at the seeds that I like, and it's not it's not everyone. Me, I'd rather go back with my real estate than sell it cheap. I'd rather go back with my real estate than sell it cheap. So me, I want very certain seeds also.
When am I going to get
I'm also looking at certain seeds.
We've had it for over 6 months.
Why do my spell work against me? Because you're not spiritually hygienic. Before you engage in hexing or spiritual work, make sure you're doing no evil and you're accepting no evil. If you're doing evil or you are accepting evil, you are killing yourself. That is my plan to marry you. Who are you, Adidi? Adidi, I don't know. Adidi, let's see. Let's see if you're a buffalo taming engineer. If you're a buffalo taming engineer, then you might just stand a chance to have my real estate. But you cannot marry me. Marriage, keep it away. I want to have children with different men. I cannot have children with a one man. No. In fact, only one chance to one man. One chance. I cannot even have 2 children with one man. Even his name Adidi. He's reminding me of a childhood friend that I used to have that died.
You were in my belly. Meanwhile, he would vaccinate you.
Adidi, rest in peace.
So what are you talking about? Like,
Me, I will not. There's no one man here. I am a lioness.
becomes dependent.
Lionesses, we give chances to
Nobody's
the
damaging
most powerful of the lions in the jungle.
holistic. That's okay,
And
baby.
it's just
But
one.
don't
If you,
talk about that.
you can become powerful today, we give you a chance, and then tomorrow we give another one a chance. We don't give chances to one. I will not give chances to one. If you are like that, if your dream is that, please die. Because that dream will not come true. That dream will not come true. I'm not conventional. Nothing about me is conventional. It will never happen. Sweetie, what about wanting to be wanted? How to deal with it? Are you a man? As a woman, wanting yourself is what makes you be wanted. As a man, you chase. Men are beggars of feminine space. But as a woman, you sit in your divine feminine energy like a mountain. The Bantu mountains are there to show you the characteristics of divine feminine energy. A mountain is always seated, even trees. Trees, they don't move. Mountains, they don't move. Everything moves towards the mountain. Everything moves towards the tree. That is the divine feminine energy. If you want to be wanted, want yourself and then sit in your divine feminine energy. Any woman who wants themselves is wanted by everybody. Yeah. Adidi hana real estate. Kama hana real estate, hata asini. Don't even look pretend I don't exist. Imagine there are some certain women who they give real estate to men who they are financial. A woman is financially more viable than a man, and you give them a real estate. Your ancestors are mourning. Your ancestors are lamenting like Jeremiah in the ancestral realm. If you're that kind of woman. Mimi kama nimeshinda na pesa hata usiniangalie. Pretend I don't exist. When you meet me on the way, just say, sijaona. Pretend I don't exist, because nope, never. I'd rather go back with my real estate. Nirudishie kama hao akina Baron. Hiyo height ya kina Baron napenda sana. Hiyo height ya kina Baron hiyo. Height ya kina Bradley hiyo giant hiyo ndio height yenye mimi napenda. Those are the only ones I can give real estate. Anybody else, especially kama wewe unatoshana hivi. Jamani. Wewe pengine uingie kwa insect. Anyway guys, this is the end of this particular live. Let me see you again on Wednesday. Otherwise, if you loved my content, kindly follow the host. Follow me, give me some followers. And then if you want to subscribe, akina Adidi, hebu guza hapa. Adidi, that one who wants to marry me. Guza hapa kwanza, tuanzie hapa. Ikoje Adidi? Adidi, guza hapa. Ambieni Adidi aguze hapa kwanza kabla hata tuanze kuongea. Asikize kwanza mafunzo, ajue kama anatosha mboga. Anyway guys, asanteni sana kwa kukuja kwa hapa. Asanteni sana kwa kushiriki na mimi. And I hope that I delivered on the topic. And I hope that you got out of here with something useful. Otherwise, as a woman, real estate ongeza bei ya real estate. You'd rather be alone. I love you. Bye. Bye. It's instinctive. It's like not doing it. It's like I'm doing something wrong.
like burgers.
Didn't know that.
People be putting their burgers right in there. I was like,
This one too. I have a printer once I get like hooked up.